We are live. We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello to Jennifer, Eileen, Cynthia, Lynn, Eileen. Looking forward to today's stream, today's program. I really thought they'd find her in the last search. Yeah. Hello to everyone coming in. I will read some comments and chat with a few of you as we are waiting for people to get the notification that we are live. Hello to Nella, hola, Peggy, hey, how's it going? Rebecca, what's up, Alicia? Alicia coming in hot, already reminding everyone to hit that like button on the way in. This is the best way to help promote and push the channel to new viewers. Also, before that, she said hello, happy Sunday. So happy Sunday to everyone. Before we hit the like button, I guess we should say happy Sunday. Peggy, you've got your mug. I've got my mug too today, Peggy. Check it out. We are mulling over some maps. I don't know how much mulling over maps we'll do. Of course, we do that in every stream. We check out the maps. We reference the maps. But we're just going to kind of go back into the Summer Wells case today. I have a few things to talk about and go through. There's like not really any updates, but I haven't really gone into the case in a while. So I figured it would be a good thing to do. So thank you, Peggy, for supporting and snagging a mug. Really appreciate it. Let's say hey to everyone else in here. Jennifer, how's it going from Wales? Hello. Judy, hello. I'm doing well. Thank you. Hopefully you are as well. Panda B. Berlinda, hello. Deborah, Rebecca, Nella, of course. Peggy. Hey. I guess I read that one already. Kays, hello. Cynthia. Stephanie. Coolidge. Samantha, hello. Bonnie, Kathleen, Cheryl. How's it going? Good evening, Paulina from the UK. My goodness, lots of people in here from all over already. We're already at 58 people. Like I said, we're giving a few people a chance to join. Darla says, I got notified, finally. Wow. Also, you were painting? Amazing. Stephanie, the weather and the tornadoes probably messed with evidence. That's an interesting thing to look into, Stephanie, is where that tornado went through, the majority of that. I know it went into different parts of, throughout the whole Midwest there, or parts of that state. Rhonda, good afternoon. What's up, Michelle? Judy, hope you had a great break. Oh, also, if I just slurped in the mic, I am so sorry. I'm hydrating. I did have a good break. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I've gone live like once or twice since being back. I'm trying to be more consistent with the videos and going live, especially leading up to Christmas. So I'm trying to potentially go live maybe 2 times a week during the work week, and then 2 uploads a week during the work week. So 4 uploads between Monday and Friday, maybe taking a break on Wednesdays, depending on what's going on. Obviously, if certain news about a case drops out of nowhere, I'll hop on an impromptu stream. And then, of course, maybe a random stream, not every weekend, but maybe on Saturdays or Sundays. So that's what I'm doing today. Hopping on here Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I'm going to go back in through some of the Summer Wells case stuff. So 74 people in here. Like I said, let's hit those like buttons. And we're going to just start to get into it here in a moment. We've been streaming for 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes now. So I like to at least wait between 5 and 10 minutes before jumping in and just kind of chatting with you guys before we get into the case. But I guess, first of all, I can just go straight to this. This is kind of the newest information that I'm aware of, aside from their recent efforts in searching again when they picked back up on that. What was that, like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks? This came out on December 10th, and apparently the reward for Summer Wells information that could lead to Summer Wells discovery has reached nearly $74,000. So that's, when you look up Summer Wells, that's one of the first things that comes up right now as new information. All the way from Scotland. Oh yes, wee lassie. Hello again from Scotland. Maybe FBI should check their vet. I can imagine some accident happened. They did go to the vet instead of a hospital to avoid charges over negligence. They've got so many dogs. They must have connections. But okay. Perfect timing for a night owl from Norway. Oh, hello from Norway. What time is it in Norway? Alexa, what time is it in Norway?
In Norway, it's 10:21 p.m.
10:21 p.m. Okay, it could be later. So yeah, you could probably stay up for a little bit. I guess if you're a night owl, you're going to be up anyways, right? 74,000 is substantial. Yeah. Let's just listen in on this real quick.
For missing Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells has increased to almost $74,000. A list of donations provided by Civis Bank and the Churchill Rescue Squad shows the most recent donation of nearly $3,000 was made November 29th. Donations to that fund can be made at any Civis Bank branch. You can mail it into the Churchill Rescue Squad as well. Summer Wells has been missing for nearly 6 months. An Amber Alert remains in effect tonight. Credible information should be sent to the TBI at 1-800-TBI Find.
Super quick video. Yeah, I mean that's the entirety of the news, right? So it's just they've increased the reward to $74,000. So I mean that's, like I said, pretty substantial. Let's see what is going on with my comment or with this. I need to. Comments should be popping up. Doing a bit of troubleshooting, guys. Oh, Raindrops. Hey, how's it going? Amy says, I hear there is a planned protest in the works in front of the TBI. Okay. I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. Planned protest. Interesting. Why won't this bring to front, move bottom, move up? There we go. Comments are showing up on there now. They should show up on here now too. There we go. Comments are coming in. All right. Doing a bit of troubleshooting. It's just plain insane that a child would disappear just like that. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they just did another search just a couple weeks ago and nothing turned up. Not that, that Tennessee is a huge place, but still, TBI should have answers already. A musician called Ryan Upchurch. Oh, really? Donated $50,000? I feel like I've heard of that. That name, Ryan Upchurch. Anyways, continuing on, let's go to this next article. So this is, we all know, or if you haven't seen, we're going to go through a couple of things from Brian Enton from back in mid-November, already basically a month ago now at this point, when News Nation went to Tennessee and they were actually able to get an interview from Don Wells. And I feel like they've all remained fairly quiet since then, if I'm not mistaken. This was really the last time I've we all have heard from him. So we're just going to play through a couple of these clips from the News Nation coverage from when Brian went out there about a month ago. So he quoted in his tweet, "Is it possible that something happened to Summer that Candace knows about?" So actually, we're just going to play the video because it's part of the video. But let's continue.
Is it possible that something happened to Summer that Candace knows about that's not her fault, but she is just nervous now and feeling bad about it?
Well, no, because she knows better. She would know to go directly to law enforcement. An accident's one thing. She would never do something like that. She knows better than that. I know it happens. It does happen with people, but no, she would go directly to law enforcement. She'd call an ambulance right away, number one, do anything. She would freak out.
Could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but
No.
You know what I mean?
No. 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 She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is, you know, it happens.
It was interesting there. He said she made some wrong friends. We talked a lot more about that. It was a long conversation. We're going to have it all for you coming up tomorrow night. Marnie?
So as that was going on up there, I have added a poll. And if you've been in any of my streams on the Summer Wells case, or any of my streams in general, or I guess this one specifically, I've asked this question before. So this isn't new for the people who have been in some of the, you know, the couple of Summer Wells cases or streams that I've done. You have maybe already given me this input or what you think. But of the 115 people that are here right now, I'm curious, do you think that Candace Wells knows more than what she's letting on? I know I've already seen some people in the comments. Amy says, I think Candace is guilty. Amy also says Candace has all the answers. I definitely think that Candace knows more than what she's letting on. Even if it's just a simple, you know, discrepancy in the timeline, right? Like maybe there's something that was completely off that she doesn't want to backtrack on, that she just doesn't want to get caught up in, feeling like, even if she's innocent in how Summer disappeared, I definitely think she probably knows something, even like I said, if it's a timeline thing, just to not put herself in a corner even more of the people on the internet that definitely think she's involved in some way that's nefarious. So I think that, yeah, like I said, even if it's a little thing, I think she definitely is withholding some info. Yeah, your cell is working. Oh yeah, Alicia's, yeah, she's in the chat. She is on a mobile setup right now, so she may not be able to pop in and link certain things, which is totally fine. But she's still in there engaging. It looks like it's working fairly well. So yeah, thank you again, Alicia, for being here. And once again, like I've always said in my streams, you know, we all have the right to think what we want about all of these cases. I started this channel talking about the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie stuff, and I want this space to be a place where people can express their opinions. Obviously, you have every right to believe what you want. You know, I think we don't need to go as far as like, I don't know. You can say that Candace has, you know, is guilty, and that you're just kind of saying, that's a pretty broad thing to say, right? So we're not exactly saying exactly guilty of what, right? But I just want this to be a place where everyone can kind of express what they want, and we can kind of go through it and chat about it. And yeah, I think that there should be places for that. But yeah, I'm not in this stream. I don't want to say that anything I'm saying, I'm not necessarily placing blame on anybody. We're just kind of going through the case. Anyways, I butchered all of that, but just to say that it's interesting going through all of this and having opinions about it all. So anyways, we're going to the next thing here. And to that point of the entire title of this live stream, Summer Wells, someone knows more. What is the title? Someone knows, someone has to have answers. That's a pretty broad title once again. But I think, and I'll get to it in a second, but the boys, the sons, obviously the grandma, but the sons. And maybe I'm just missing this on the internet, but I'm looking for more information about the three sons. Is it two? The three sons. And something about that is just, the boys know something. So we'll get more into that in a second. Let's watch this next video.
The afternoon of June 15th, 5-year-old Summer Wells is helping her mother and grandmother plant flowers, but then reportedly goes in the house where her brothers are playing.
So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there and she was gone.
Now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Searchers converge on the rural area in northeast Tennessee. The next day, a statewide Amber Alert.
Some breaking news in Hawkins County. A little girl named Summer Wells, 5 years old. She went missing last night.
Hope God in his mercies will deliver Summer home to us.
For weeks, a massive search on the ground, from the air, and in the water. June 26th, police announced they're looking for the driver of a red or maroon Toyota pickup truck with ladders on the back, which may have been in the area on the night of Summer's disappearance. That driver has never come forward. All along, police saying they haven't found any evidence of a kidnapping.
Nothing pointing to abduction, nothing pointing to foul play, other than her walking outside the house and not being found.
In July, social services took Summer's 3 brothers from the home without revealing why. In October, Don Wells, Summer's father, is arrested on a DUI charge, adding to a list of criminal charges in 3 states, including a domestic assault arrest in 2020. Summer's mother filed for an order of protection, saying, "I'm afraid for my children and myself," but later asked for it to be dismissed. Under intense public scrutiny, on November 12th, the couple appears on Dr. Phil, facing questions about whether they know more than they're revealing.
You didn't do anything to hurt your daughter. Did he do anything to hurt your daughter?
No, sir.
If it wasn't you, then who would be the next most likely candidate?
I don't know.
Okay, so I got a couple comments that we're going to address before moving on here. But if I could get the 140 people that are in here to gently tap the like button, that would be amazing. Let's get this thing up to 100 likes. It's always nice to have, by the 30-minute mark, if you can have, like, if I was looking through the analytics, and if we hit 100 likes before the stream gets to 30 minutes, we typically end up having over 200 people in those streams. So it definitely helps push out to more people and get the notification and just find the recommended page. There are people probably in here that have randomly just stumbled across the channel, which is cool. Let's move this forward. Move up. There we go. But yeah, gently tap that like button if you could. Kaz, K-A-Z-Z, says, I'm afraid it will end in a war in chat between supporters and banishers. I am supporter of parents and as well have enough of this drama. Okay, so that's interesting. So then look, it doesn't have to end in war in the chat, at least not this chat. People can be hopefully nice to each other with having whatever opinion we have. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. And Miss Redhead and Cheryl. But I get what you're saying. Also, I'm curious with the support for the parents. Are you a parent? Do you feel for them in that way of just knowing that they potentially are just reacting the way they're reacting and it's just being kind of misinterpreted by the general public? I'm curious what your thoughts are there, Kaz. Let me go through Alberta, Canada. What's up? Thank you from, far from Clarksville. The chat is civil. Good. Anyways, we are basically at 100 likes. Wow, you guys, you pretty much did it. Thank you. 8 away. Hey, sorry I'm late. Oh, that's okay. You haven't missed much, Sneaky. We just went through the news of, let's see here. Where are we? Basically, the reward for Summer Wells has reached $74,000. The reward for Summer Wells, information on Summer Wells. And then we just went through some of the older News Nation clips that are now a month old, of Brian Enton talking to Don Wells. And then now I'm going to go into this video here because it gets into the next thing I want to talk about as it relates to kind of covering these stories. And this is a snippet from a live stream with Brian Enton and JB from WFLA, which if you guys are familiar with the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case, you know that these are two people from different agencies, news networks, that covered the story at a pretty high level. So we're going to listen in to this little 1.5-minute clip about the journalism aspect of covering these stories. So thank you for the 100 likes. We're one away. We're practically there. Hey, Mikey, how's it going? Mikey, Mickey? Hey, chat. Hey, chat.
What are some of the biggest cons? I'll give the biggest con of all. You're literally walking in an information minefield. And it's extremely difficult when, I don't know what percent, it depends on the story, what percentage of information that gets put out on the internet is good, credible information, how much of it is just sheer lunacy. But there's a lot of misinformation out there. And we, in real time with interactive journalism, we have to comb through what is real, not real, or just kind of in that unknown gray areas. That's the biggest con to me, is that especially with a story that received the amount of attention as Gabby and Brian, that story, there was so much information coming from all over the place, and it's a full-time job being able to decipher the good information, the bad information, and also where sometimes, Brian, you and I will get information and we go, there might be something here, but we then have to go and vet that information, take it through the appropriate avenues to follow up on it to see if it is in fact factual. And a lot of times it is, and a lot of times it's not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that, again, one of the pros with all of this is that people get the information in real time. One of the cons is, you almost sometimes feel like you have less time to vet information because people are demanding it so constantly. They like want to know right then, and they're like, I'm trying, I'm calling,
So they're just kind of going through, talking about how, the information coming through, especially like them covering, for instance, the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case as an example. They are part of big news networks that are gaining, that get just so much more attention than, a small channel like mine, for instance. And even me during all of that, during the height of like the first week and a half of me starting this channel, I was getting like 30 to 40 emails a day, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's like full of people that are sending you information that they think is credible and real and that should be covered, and don't get me wrong, it's awesome to get that information because, there's a lot of people were quick to share actual information, right? So I was getting people, and a lot of that was coming through on my Twitter, of breaking news, right? Finding out about like the day that Brian's remains were found, for instance, or not the remains, the cause of death. Someone sent that to me on Twitter, and I immediately got the notification, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go live. And so like getting that input is super beneficial as someone who covers this stuff. But JB, for instance, was probably getting 10 times to 20 times more, people reaching out to him during that. So I'm sure they had to deal with a lot more of that. I'm curious if his DMs are open on Twitter. They're not. So he would have to be following you. But you could, of course, just tweet him. But let's read a few of these comments, and then we're going to get into the next thing. Mickey, like Mickey Mouse. Very nice, very nice. Let's see. Chris, how's it going? Let me find what you were talking about. Chris, I have to ask, are the subtitles on? Hopefully. Also, hey, Joyce. Kaz says, I am a parent. My son is an adult and alive. I do watch videos from David Paulides' channel. Check it, please. Maybe you will analyze this case again from another angle, your members, just saying. I'm just analyzing it as much as I can, Kaz, from the angle that I have. When you Google, for instance, when I first looked into the Summer Wells case, I didn't have much info on the case. So thinking about like someone who just wants to look into something, like a missing person, and you Google that person's name, what is the first thing that comes up, right? And with this case, because information can be spread, whether it's real or not, the stuff that sometimes rises to the top is analytically what is doing better. So that doesn't always mean that it's credible. So I agree with you. I think everything should be looked at many different angles. I definitely don't want to think just one way about this case. So I think Yeah, I think you have to look at it from all angles. Kay says, I think it's impossible to personally acknowledge the people in the chat when there are a ton and it's moving super fast. Oh, is someone, did I miss somebody's chat? I will say, I apologize if I ever missed that stuff. It is tough. I've got a couple of monitors I'm looking at here. I've got this like thing. Let me show you guys. Well, I have to push it. This basically takes and goes to the different scenes. So if I want to go to like the small screen, I push that. I want to go to this screen, I push that. The big screen, I push that. I can go to the starting soon screen. There's a lot of different screens I can go to, so I have to constantly be pushing buttons and looking at screens and opening tabs. So if I miss things, my apologies. So let me go back. Many YouTubers, they talk with the chatters. We are like background. Not many YouTuber announcers. We are like background. We are here to be interacted with. The frustration comes from not being acknowledged other than a footnote. Did I miss? Oh, the captions are Aqua? Also, hello. So if I missed something, I apologize. Oh, it wasn't addressed to me? Okay, Kays, thank you. I'm trying to do my best. And these streams, especially this one right now, is kind of just a low-key, chill Sunday stream, little recap, going through the case again. So I'm trying to look through your guys' comments as well, because I definitely am interested in what you guys have to say. But yeah, a little behind the scenes of the tech involved. So let's... Oh, you were commenting on how nice it is to be interacted with. Awesome, Chris. Well, yeah, I try to do my best. Let's move on to this next section. This isn't anything super new, but I just wanted to talk about it as it, we just listened to that clip from JB and Brian talking about misinformation. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation tweeted out on November 10th that they've noticed an uptick in misinformation being spread online about the search for Summer Wells. We want to be clear that we're doing everything within our power to find her. Now, there wasn't a link. There wasn't a link beyond that. There was a thread of other tweets, but they didn't go into, and I wish, and I know they can't always do this because it's an ongoing investigation, but I wish they could let us know what's not credible, right? So they're saying they've noticed this huge uptick in misinformation. It's like, let us know what's not something to be going down. Like, I don't know, something to not think about. And I know us just being, curious people with an internet connection that follow these cases, we're not necessarily important in all of this. But it would be nice to know, like, what's not something to think about, or to, what rabbit hole do we not want to go down? So, I don't know. And I also think that this can be important, this kind of stuff, because it gets more attention on the case at the very least. So it'd be interesting to know what they deem, as misinformation as it relates to the case. So, anyways, so this was, back in... this is December 9th. Oh, so this is another misinformation article. Maybe they say it in this article. Let me just Control F. Misinformation. Did I misspell it wrong? Oh, I misspelled it. Not two S's. Here we go. So misinformation only comes up once in this article. Okay. Clearly, whoever took... Let's just read through this a little bit. We don't always just read through articles. Kaz, I hear you, love. I'm just saying not always cases happening near national parks are easy to solve just because lacks... Yeah, I agree. Has the TBI and other law enforcement agencies conducted a new search of the area around the home of 5-year-old Summer Wells? Speculation once again runs wild, to say the least. Such a tragic circumstance brings out the best in the best of us. There are plenty of comments on the usual social media venues praying that Summer is found and thanking the TBI for keeping the investigation going as it said it would. Likewise, the renewed public discussion brings out the worst in the worst of us. An example, what idiots wait 5.5 months to do another search for a missing person? Oh, okay, so this is what they're talking about. Just people commenting on the case as if they know kind of what they're talking about. That was even something I was just curious about with the, the search that happened 5 months later. I wasn't saying like, look at these idiots, why did they wait this long? I was just like, I'm very curious. Why are they searching? And then, of course, it was due to the fact that, there were less leaves and, less moisture. So there was less kind of swampy areas or whatever it was, right? They had their reasons. So what is going on? Kays, oh my gosh, people don't realize how hard it is to do live streams and interact with the comment section. It's why I rarely go live. Oh, Shelby's got me on the big screen. Nice. Thank you, Holly. I would love those thumbs to go in the upward direction. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Raindrops. Anyways, continuing on, but likewise, let's see. So yeah, what idiots would wait 5 months? Obviously, she is not in the area. Otherwise, the canine would have lost her, and the scent at the end of the road, or at the end of the dog trail that led to the road. Clearly, whoever took her put her in a vehicle at the road and left the area. It doesn't take a trained investigator to figure that one out. Yeah, I mean, there are people that clearly comment these things as if it's a total fact. And like I said, we don't try to word things like that in this chat. People can talk about the case, how they feel, fits however they feel. But I don't see a lot of people just like commenting blanket statements as fact, right? And that's what I like to see, or what I don't like to see. People, it's usually a pretty not a cohesive chat. It's a pretty, I don't know the words. The chat is usually pretty civil, obviously, but in addition to that, the chat is always pretty non-biased. I don't know what the word would be. I need to hydrate more. I need to get coffee. This is just water in here. What's clearly obvious is that this commenter doesn't have a clue about where the investigation stands, much less what investigators know that we don't. Nor does it take a genius to understand that the leaves are down and drones can see certain... Yeah, exactly. So the leaves were down, so certain aerial views using the drones were able to then be used, which is nice. That's the reason for the renewed search. So yeah, that's why they renewed the search. So I think they're just talking about kind of some of those outlandish claims by people on the internet that claim to know how searches should be conducted, or how at least this search can be or should be conducted. Kushu with the $2 super sticker. Welcome to the stream, Kushu. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Once again, love the profile picture. Wonderful cat. Is your cat's name Kushu? I mean, if your name's Kushu, that's pretty cool too, but I'm just curious. Hi from Germany. I came to your channel because of the Gabby Petito case. Good work. Thank you. Thank you again to Kushu. Be vocal, but not ugly. Nice. Oh, Shelly's jumping in from the car. Nice. Holly, I also don't think that the guy that just bought the property in the blue van with the property dispute would have been the one to take a kid when he just moved in. Traffickers are everywhere there. That's an interesting... Okay, so I actually wanted to hop into that next, and then we'll go into the rest. This is something that's interesting that we can jump into. If we want to go into the actual real estate assessment data in the area, we can do that. So we can go into, it's Hawkins County. So if we click Hawkins County and we actually go to these parcel IDs, you guys can do this on your own as well. This is just public info. If we type 082 in this control map section, and we don't type anything in the group section. And then in the parcel section, type 043.00 and press enter. You can see the actual property that is at 110 Ben Hill Road, which we all know this is super public, so I'm not outing their address. I mean, obviously I'm saying the address, but this is very easy to find. I'm not the first one publicly doxing the Wells family, but it basically pulls up this information, which is the information about the property. So we can go to the map. So now we're officially mulling over a few maps. Get your mugs out. And you can see the actual property lines. So that's what's kind of interesting about this this feature, is that it's outlining exactly where the property line begins and ends for the Wells family. So we can actually go to the aerial photography, which is just the actual images, Google Images. Jennifer, I just recently started following you and will continue to follow. You're doing great. Keep it up. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for following. I'm curious how you found me. Did you just find me on the recommended page? Were you searching for a specific case? But thank you for the comment and the super chat. I really appreciate it. $5 super chat. Thank you, Jennifer. Anyways, so yeah, as we can see, this is the Wells property. So the Wells, does anyone know if the Wells have a garage? We can go into the video by the interview room, yeah, in a moment. I think that they do. I know they have multiple, or at least a couple of sheds. But garage, we'll have to look into that. But this is their property line. And someone was talking, I think Holly even mentioned it just a moment ago, talking about someone buying the property nearby. I want to say someone bought, it was like an 86 acre property nearby. And if you actually go to this identify section on the map, you can click nearby properties. And I want to say that this is the property maybe that was bought nearby. This isn't confirmed, but once again, this property right here is the Wells property. And up on Ben Hill Road, someone's calling me. Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Hi, I'm Lisa calling you from Delaware BPO.
Okay, that's a spam call. I don't know if someone was... I get calls from my previous live stream through my Google Voice account, and sometimes it's from someone watching a different stream. Anyways, maybe we'll do calls later. If anyone would want to do calls on this, we should do calls. We should do calls. If anyone has anything to say and you are down to call in, it's just your voice. You use a number. It calls a Google number. Your number doesn't pop up anywhere. It's all anonymous. Let me know. If I see a few people in the chat say that they would do it, I will. Anyways, because I like hearing from people, especially when it's a case like this that I'm not like mega familiar with. But anyways, this is pretty cool because you can click on different properties nearby. And this is actually, so we're actually outing people in this area. I just now realized. I mean, I think that Richard Gurley and Linda are probably fine people who own this property and do not deserve the people on the internet to spam them with questions as about this case. So I hope that people won't do that. Maybe I'll step away from this site, but basically I wanted to show you guys this. You can go to Tennessee Property Viewer. Let's see. Tennessee Property Viewer, I think is what it is. I mean, that's what we're on. I want to say you call it something else. Yeah, real estate assessment data, and then Tennessee, and then you can do all the information, but it goes to this Tennessee Property Viewer site. But I just thought it was interesting because you get to really see like the pieces of land, and it's when you're looking on Google, it's sometimes hard to identify where the actual property lines end. Like this is a tiny little piece of property here, not even an acre. But you would think that this would be owned by the same person, but the property behind it would continue to be theirs, but it's actually part of a completely different property, it looks like. So anyways, that I found to be interesting because you can definitely, dive deep. Also, yeah, if it's already on the internet, it's not necessarily my fault. This is public information. Let's see. I missed a few comments. Let's see what some people are saying. Hit the like button. Thank you, Juicebox. Thank you. If you need a 4-wheel drive vehicle to ascend their driveway. Oh, I heard that too, Amy. Or I at least heard that it's a pretty substantial driveway. No garage that I saw, but a lot of sheds. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Rottweiler says, the reason your chat is civil, mature, and non-combative is due to your delivery, personality, and attitude. Oh, thank you, thank you. I really enjoy following you. You rock. Thanks. Thanks, Meg. Yeah, I mean, I try to, like I said, try to let people know that that's kind of how I would like the chat to be, but of course you can't control what people say, but that's just, if I'm going to run this YouTube channel, that's kind of what I'd rather prefer. Cheryl says, calls are interesting, but you need a moderator to screen them. Yeah, that's what's tough. I need to figure out the software that works for that. What I typically do is just take the calls in whatever order I can take them. And if you get in the line, you get in the line, and I just answer the next call. But you have to keep calling. So like right when I'm done, you have to like call again to try to get in the next queue. And then I always have or at least I try to have my mouse really close to the button to hang up in case someone just were to start, cursing out of nowhere when it didn't make sense to. So I think that we could probably handle it. I'm going to open it up for calls here in a moment. We're going to go through a couple more things, but I think I'll go through that. And then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So, I wonder if it was people they knew, then the dogs wouldn't bark. So yeah, speaking of the dog barking, that's really interesting, Deb, that you commented that. We're going to go through this. This is a TikTok from one of the, what people on the news are deeming the internet sleuths, which there are a few people up in Tennessee, or at least they were earlier last week, doing a bit of research in the area, and this is from a TikToker, Olivia. Olivia's personal page is where this one is posted.
Today we searched for Summer Wells, a 5-year-old girl who went missing about 6 months ago. Across the street from her house is a cemetery. From her home, she has a direct view of it. An interesting detail that I thought I would share was that the entire time we were there, the neighbors' dogs were barking. Even when we were across the street from the Wells house, the neighbors' dogs kept barking. For someone to abduct Summer, they would have to traverse up this steep hill. And even if they used the driveway, don't you think those dogs would have been barking? Today we searched...
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? It's hard to say, right? Like that particular day that she was there, they could have just been exceptionally active, right? Those dogs. So it's hard to say. Jennifer says, I found you when the Gabby Petito case was going on. Another YouTuber that I follow, although I cannot remember who at this moment, referred us to your channel. Oh, cool. Yeah, a few people gave me some gracious shout outs during that time. Mel being one of them, It Could Mel, which I owe, all of the initial surge in viewership to him. But then a few other people gave me some generous shout outs as well during that time. And actually, that brings me to my next point. If you guys, anyone follows Gisela K, or Grizzly, we are starting to formulate a plan for some sort of a collab. So that's exciting. And if any of you follow her, just know that we're hopefully going to try to plan something, a little map time collab between now and Christmas. So that could be really cool. Anyways, because I think she even gave me a shout out at one point. Someone messaged me, but I've had enough people message me to collab with her that I was actually going to be reaching out to her later today. I was drafting an email this morning to reach out to her, and then sure enough, it worked out. She reached out to me as well, so it's great. Jennifer says, yes, it was him, Mel. Nice. Miss Wee Lassie, don't take these kinds of clips too serious. When music is added to the background when they're speaking, distracts from the thing they're supposedly talking about. Yeah, those TikTok videos, anytime they add like crazy music, or I guess I should say like eerie music, it's like they're trying to sell a specific mood. And actually, in my video tomorrow that comes out, it has nothing to do with an active case that's going on right now. It's a little bit of an older case. I did put some music in there. I was curious. I wasn't trying to really pump in a certain mood, but it's a long enough video that I felt like it needed a little bit of something to kind of add to the story, but I don't think it overdoes it. So you'll have to let me know if you watch that video if it's bad with the music. Oh, Chris, and yes, I will attempt. Yeah, I will show her how the closed captioning works. So let's get, in a moment, the calls going. LJ says, me too. It could Mel. Nice. And yeah, the dogs did bark at Chris, right? Interesting. Holly says, I said earlier that if it was someone they know. In a lot of cases, apparently, it usually is someone that the family has, at the very least, knows of, which makes sense. I mean, this is a small town. They probably know. If it's probably someone they know. Sensationalizing things is definitely not ideal. Yeah, that's where it's like the fine line. And a lot of the videos, like some of the videos I make, are like 10 to 15 minutes long, and I think of it more as kind of a lengthy video podcast section that I'm talking about, and I typically don't put music. But tomorrow's video is a little different. I'm testing it out, but I by no means think it's sensationalizing. Also, we just hit 200 viewers, and then it went down, and then it keeps peaking back up and going back down. But thank you to the 200 people that are here, and to the 156 of you that have hit the like button. I have something exciting that we might do in a little bit, so stick around. But we're going to do the calls in a moment. I have something else that I'm considering. So if you're here right now, stick around, because it may end up happening. That's a very mysterious thing to say. I have a friend who's virtually totally deaf, and she says background music makes it incredibly hard to hear the speech above it. Yeah. Interesting. Sneaky says, if they always bark, then it wouldn't be abnormal, therefore not alerting suspicion on Summer's day. Interesting. Okay, so we all obviously know about this as well. This is an article from The Sun. Well, I shouldn't say we all know about this, but a lot of people know about the gas can. This post from Summer's mom was posted. I didn't realize it was posted the day before Summer actually went missing. She was dancing in front of a big oil drum can thing that says for sale. I don't think there's really much to this at all. I think that, I think that that's probably just on their property all the time. I think they probably maybe use that to sell things, right? Set it next to something and indicate that it's for sale. I don't think that there was really much to this. A lot of people obviously think that this was her listing Summer for sale, but figured I'd mention it again. And yeah, back to the title of the video. Someone has to know more information about this case. I'm really interested in the brothers. I'm interested in these three little boys who were removed from the house just days after really, maybe, was it days or was it July? It may have been July. Let's see. It may have been longer. So 3 brothers have been removed from the home. This was posted on July 26th. So I guess it would have been over a month later. I thought it was just days later. Maybe this article was updated. Either way, these 3 boys that were supposedly in the house watching TV or just hanging out, they would, even if they didn't pay attention to Summer actually coming into the house or not, they were there when, like, Summer and Candace and the grandma returned home, right? So they would be able to at least identify whether or not they even returned home when they said they did, or if it was several hours prior. They would be able to at least, I think, give law enforcement and investigators a little bit of information that, you know, hopefully would hash out some of the timeline stuff, even if it's small. They need to not let the Cornbread Candace have them boys back. They need to not let Cornbread Candace have them boys back. That was another thing. The Cornbread Mafia is another thing I have actually listed here. We can go through that. Of the people that think that she was sold, they think that it had to do with the Cornbread Mafia. So we'll learn a little bit about that in a second. I'm going to read a couple more comments. I didn't realize it was posted day before either. Yeah, so that was posted the day before on TikTok. Philip says about 5 to 6 weeks later. Okay. When you go around the church's terrain view, there's one of them that looks like it has a small prison in the back of the woods behind it. Super tall fence around the building. Just seems odd. I might have to look into that, Holly. The taking of the boys had nothing to do with Summer disappearing. Someone reported their... Oh, absolutely, Deb. Yeah. I'm saying, yeah, they were removed from the home once they figured out the circumstances in which they were living. Those boys, it was like CPS, right? It was probably Child Protective Services or some other agency like it, deemed it unsafe or, you know, unethical or whatever it would be for the boys to be living there. Because I think people even put up some money for Candace and Dawn to, like, get a new floor and to fix up the house. And, you know, hopefully at that point they would have been able to get the house in a living, you know, a situation where the boys could come back. The boys obviously have not been back, at least to my knowledge. But yeah, I should have mentioned that. And thank you for reminding me, Deb. But yeah, the boys were removed for that. So yeah, pretty wild. Yeah, unhealthy environment for sure, Cheryl. Unhealthy environment for sure. So let's listen into what the Cornbread Mafia is.
A gang or a group doesn't mean necessarily they're organized crime.
Is this something serious?
And just because they are a gang or a group doesn't mean necessarily they're organized crime.
What do you believe law enforcement will do with this?
We have to remember, Ainsley, that Dr. Phil's in the business of entertainment, and he does a great job of it. Him and his team do a great job of it. But at the end of the day, we in law enforcement have to stick to the facts. We can't have scuttlebutt. We can't have hearsay. We have to stick to the facts. And the facts in this case at this point just show that that type of involvement is just not there.
Is this something serious?
And just because they are...
So it's weird how it keeps auto-playing into the next question.
Does it have other names? From what the research I've done, it appears that it originated in Kentucky. Is that correct?
That is correct.
With the Cornbread Mafia, though, does it have other names? From what the research I've done, it appears that
The definition of a gang, the state of Tennessee, Ainsley, the definition of a gang is any group with 3 or more individuals that have a like interest, stuff of that nature. Now, again, just because somebody is a gang doesn't mean that is a organized crime organization.
With the Cornbread Mafia...
This is a weird site. He's not even explaining what the Cornbread Mafia is. And it's all just on, like, every one of these videos. It's like, what's the Cornbread Mafia? I figured there'd be a more detailed version, but Anyways, the article says the Cornbread Mafia, it's been trending since the parents of missing Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells appeared on Dr. Phil. You have to actually look at what... Okay, so yeah, that's what he said. Let me just pull up... I don't know why... I was like, I saw that article. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll hit that up next. What in... Something just fell. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I didn't put it on my Be Right Back screen. Dang it. I don't know if you guys heard that. Something fell behind me. Oh, maybe it was a Christmas card. I have Christmas cards sitting by the Alexa there. Maybe one fell behind the thing. Anyways, probably a ghost. That's right, Addie. Dr. Phil solved nothing. Cornbread Mafia. Let's get back into this real quick. Regardless of what you guys think about this case, we're going to go through this briefly for those who maybe aren't aware. Also, I think it was someone who said Black Cat. I know so much about this case. I wish I wouldn't have watched this much. Sorry, Black Cat. But for those who aren't as familiar with Black Cat, because I'm sure they've gone through all of this information, the Cornbread Mafia was the name for a group of Kentucky men who created the largest domestic marijuana production operation in U.S. history. It was based in Marion, Nelson, and Washington counties in central Kentucky. The term Cornbread Mafia was first used in public by federal prosecutors in June of 1989, of a June 1989 press conference where they revealed that 70 men had been arrested for organizing marijuana trafficking ring that stretched across 30 farms in 10 states, stretching from the southeast to the Midwest. So it is said, and I may be wrong on this entirely, but it is said that now the Cornbread Mafia, it's not just marijuana, it's human trafficking. They're moving large amounts of, serious drugs like cocaine and fentanyl and meth. And so do I think that something like that's happening? For sure. I mean, human trafficking is just happening. Do I think that there's a group called the Cornbread Mafia? Possibly. Do I think that they have anything to do with this case? I don't know. I mean, it's horrible to think about, but with the case, it could very well be just a human trafficking case if Summer was indeed just taken from the property. Do I think it was a Cornbread Mafia? I don't know. Sonia says, I've never heard of that gang. I had heard of it like very briefly a long time ago, and then I really hadn't heard about it until this case again. So, but it makes sense that it was more of like a marijuana thing back in the 80s, late 80s. So that's why I think more so now, because marijuana is like more legal in a lot of states, or at least medically in a lot of states. I feel like they're running a lot of other drugs. Let me check this real quick. Yep, we're good on that. Yeah, not to say that it's not serious. I want to call. Okay, I'm gonna open up the lines in a moment. Holly. Nella says, I think she was sold. Whew, yikes. This is an older video. We're gonna quickly watch part of it from News Nation though, and then we're gonna keep it rolling.
We want to get to a case now that's getting a lot of attention. 5-year-old
Oh
Summer.
wait, we've watched this. This is just like the main. Yeah, this is an older video. This is just gonna tell us things that we already know. One other thing to mention, we went through the TikTok video earlier. Going into Candace's TikTok. Going back to this day right here, it's an interesting one. So she posted this let's see. Posted this on May 31st. Okay, this is Summer swinging in just on their property, I believe. But if we go into the comments on this video, and this is interesting, Nikki Sipple commented, "I hate seeing these negative comments. I don't know why people make assumptions about truth. I pray you will find your little girl, Candace. She seems so happy." And then Candace, and it says creator, so this is the person that's running this account, commented, "She was a very happy little girl, and we miss and love her so much." And if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, am I covering that? No, I'm not. That was posted, her comment, Nikki's comment was posted on June 18th. So 3 days after Summer was reported missing. And Candace commented on it only a day later. I don't know what time in the day because TikTok doesn't show that sort of data, I don't think. Of course, we could probably find out. I'm sure there's some sort of inspection on this to see like the time that it was posted, like going through this whole stuff. But regardless of what time she posted that on the 19th, you have to realize that Summer went missing on June 15th. Late in the day is when they reported her missing, right? And so June 19th is like 96 hours. That's like 4 days. So within 96 hours of her being missing, she's already using, and a lot of people think that this is just because Candace and Dawn don't necessarily talk with the correct pronunciation and the correct like grammar always, but she used past tense in this. And a lot of people find this interesting when she said that, Candace said she was a very happy little girl. Why is she already saying was? So a lot of people think she is already trying to just kind of put this in the past, using it in past tense, and saying was, as opposed to, and if you look at some of the comments, people immediately are saying she was. Why are you talking about your daughter in the past tense? Was? What the F does that mean? Yeah, I know I hadn't said anything until everyone posted this, where you use past tense, the father uses present, but you are using past tense. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting, and it reminds me of an old case of Chris Watts. If you guys remember Chris Watts out of Colorado, infamously used was when talking about his daughter. He basically said that Bella was going to be starting kindergarten in a clip where he was being interviewed. And so many people, when that happened, immediately knew, or at least thought, that he was the prime suspect. So it reminds me of that. They talk about the past tense thing, and there's a whole thing with people using past tense in cases like this. And a lot of times it could just be, misusing, saying not coming across how you want to come across. But it is interesting that she was posting that just 4 days later. Let's see. Gonna open the lines in a moment. For those of you who are unaware, the home, so we're going to take a quick look again into the home. This is the home of Summer Wells, Dawn and Candace Wells. This is why the boys were removed from the home. This is the entrance to the main living space. There's no staircase down into the basement. You have to go through this little crawl space. And once again, like when I initially started covering the Summer Wells case, I don't want to be calling out anyone for their living their living conditions. Everyone is in a different place in life and doesn't always have, the nicest living conditions. But this is certainly beyond bad. There's so many areas where the kids could get hurt just going downstairs, and this is where actually Summer lived down here. And so this was her main room. there was a doorway out to the main part of the property, so you could enter that door to get into this. You don't always have to go down that random hole in the floor, but it is interesting. We're gonna get the Google Voice going, take some calls. Let's see. I'm gonna send this. So hopefully, Alicia, I just sent that to you. Hopefully you have that. We'll wait to post that for a moment, but that's on your end. If I need to post it, I can easily post it too. I know you're on mobile, Alicia. I'm going to read through a few of these comments. Let's see here. What are some people saying? Some people should not have children. Yeah. Oh, the exposed wires, Amy. Yeah. And yeah, CPS should have absolutely taken them years ago. Look at that. Crawl down a hole to get to the dungeon where the precious child slept. JTube, what is up? It has been a minute, JTube. How's it going? So sad to see Summer is still missing. Someone definitely knows what happened to her. I just hope she's not suffering wherever she is. Absolutely, JTube. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you in here. I notice when people are, some of the people that would be there in the chat consistently. So I've definitely noticed that you haven't been here in a while. So it's good to see you. Let's see. Chris Psycho Watts. It looks like she has a bruise on her arm. Sonia, which arm are you talking about? Which arm? You're talking about in this photo here? That part right there? And yeah, I mean, Holly, I just saw that comment about, I think it's relevant in the sense that it tells you why the boys were removed from the house. It paints the picture overall of the family. Like, all of the things are important. I think there are obviously things like she didn't go missing because the house was a mess. And I think we all know that. Like, she didn't go missing because they forgot to dust and she decided to leave the house because it smelled or there was dust in the, like, she went missing because of something that was much bigger than their house being a mess, for sure. But it definitely paints the picture and it's important to go through. But yeah, I agree. Hey Mimi, how's it going? You didn't get a notification? What the heck, Mimi? Well, that sucks. We're gonna open up the lines now, so I'm gonna get the number posted in a moment. I'm not sure if Alicia is here. Yeah, she is. So Alicia, if you could post the number, that would be amazing. For anyone who wants to call, I know Holly definitely wants to call. We're going to limit it to a few minutes. Holly, if you do end up calling, we'll limit to around 3 minutes, and then we let some other people join. If there aren't a lot of people that are joining, then we can open it back up and you can call back and we can kind of keep going from there. But the call lines are open. It is 305-985-2690. And like Alicia said in the comment, try keeping the calls to 2-3 minutes. And yeah, if you can't get through, just try calling again. It's not a lined up queue like before, or like some other streamers. But I'm working on that. I'm still here catching your lives the next day and catching your other videos too. Oh, amazing. Thank you. Appreciate it, JTube. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we have the first call coming in. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me or hear the call.
Call from
Amy.
Oh, this is Amy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, is this Amy?
Hi, Aaron. How you doing?
Doing well.
I have a lot of different ideas with Summer. I just don't think she was abducted. and I don't believe she was sold. I think that Candace knows a lot more than she's saying. And there's somebody along with Olivia that was down in Tennessee. His name is Jonathan Lee Riches.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of posts on his Twitter that states that that this sheriff is sort of like related or knows stuff about Don or the family, and that they're covering for the family, and that there's a lot of evidence that's not getting out there, and Candace is not really being grilled properly.
Yeah.
Opposed, what happened, and also there were a lot of 911 calls that they were able to. This group that was down there this week. Not that I like all of them. That some of their tactics aren't right, but they got 911 records, and this poor little girl started life under a cloud. There was a 911 call of Don abusing Candace while she was pregnant with Summer. So it's just the child just started life so horribly sad.
Yeah.
And I heard these children were not being bathed but once a week.
Uh-huh.
And that there was a lot of the P word going on as far as Don has a history with his sisters, or have accused him of the P word, and also that he was not appropriate as far as showering with the daughter and sleeping in bed together, and that kind of thing. So there's things that really haven't been put out there. But I do believe that Candace knows a lot more, and they are not really grilling her. They should have gotten more evidence on her as to what happened, and I just don't trust that the theory that she was abducted or she was sold. I think I just don't agree with that, and I think that they need. And then I heard, as I said, I posted that that I saw a live stream of a certain person. I'm not going to really give her any kind of publicity because she's a little drama, but there's another woman named Andrea Griffin who works alongside Jonathan Lee Riches, who say they're trying to get people down there to demand answers from TVI because they're taking too long. They're trying to arrange something to get people out there to have a protest.
Yeah.
But that's all. I just feel very bad, for these. I'm a nurse, and if I saw kids, I work in a school, and I see if I saw kids coming in like this, if they smelled, we wouldn't let this go on. We would have called CPS, and you can't let kids that aren't groomed. Those are big red flags, and those kids should not have stayed in that house in those conditions.
Yeah.
And if they had taken them out years ago, this child would be around.
Right.
And I think that these authorities really let this family slip through the cracks.
Right. So real quick, if not abducted or not sold, do you have any theories on your end of like what actually happened then?
I think something happened with Candace. Either she fell in that unsafe house, something happened. She might have hit her head or something.
Yeah.
And they had other issues with the authorities, and they were afraid if they called 911
That's
that
true,
the kids would be taken away.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens with families with this kind of history and kinds of issues in their home life. And it's very sad. But I really do believe that this family's kids fell through the cracks, and I hear the boys. This is what I hear. The boys don't even want to go back to the house. They're thriving. Okay, Aaron.
Right.
I'll let somebody else call.
Oh yes. Well,
Bye.
no. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well,
All
take
right.
care. Bye.
Bye. I think it was Amy. I already forgot, but thank you, Amy, for the call. I mean that's true. I think that sometimes it's hard. It's easy to forget about the swimming, and I know that JTube is mentioning. I keep feeling that it has something to do with her swim at the river. This could all be just a situation where some crazy accident happened, and they did not want their lives to be ruined by this this situation. A, having the boys taken away, but B, they clearly have some other issues going on with their lives, and so this would have been beyond just their boys being taken away from them had something like that surfaced. So that's interesting. Thanks for the call, Amy. Appreciate it. Let's see. I think. Let's see. Where are we at? Also, the lines are open. So I think if you did try to call, And we were on there. You probably got a busy signal, I would assume. But if you want to call and let me know what you guys think, feel free to do so. The number is in the chat. Alicia has posted it down there. It is 305-985-2690. Thanks again to Amy for calling. A lot of people think the dry drowning thing is a strong possibility. Tara says secondary drowning. Yeah. 911 would have been the worst thing they could do. Drugs, sexual assaults, all would have been found out. Yeah, Deb, I don't know exactly their situation with drugs, but I know that they've had issues in the past with drugs. And so if they were even remotely involved in any sort of, anything that had to do with drugs, I think that could have been, yeah, like you said, the last thing they would have wanted to do. They need to take a cadaver dog to the basement. Yeah, there was also someone talking about the area. Someone was buried, and in June there was like some addition to the area next to the tombstone. Someone sent me that on an email. But they took cadaver dogs there, and nothing came up. So people think that Summer was buried there. It was like a family member of Dawn and Candace, I believe, maybe an aunt or something. But apparently they took cadaver dogs there, so I don't think there's really anything to that as well. But yeah, good call. Michelle says, good call. Thank you. Do we really think Don's the type of man to cover for and protect his wife? Joyce, that's a good comment. I don't think so. Clearly abusive. Once again, whether or not he was actively a terrible person during the time of all this, it has been reported that he has been abusive in the past. And to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of times in those cases, people don't really change. I think it takes a lot for someone to become a better person when you're that shitty of a person. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot to come back from that. People that stay in abusive relationships obviously know what I'm talking about. People say, "Oh, I'm going to change," or whatever the case may be. It doesn't always happen, and it doesn't happen often. So no, I agree with you on that, Joyce. Good comment. But yeah, call lines are open. I don't know if Holly's still in here. Holly had a lot to say in the chat earlier. So I don't know if Holly's in here and wants to. I guess it was it Holly? There's a couple Hollys in here. Yeah, Holly Southern Style had a lot to say earlier, so maybe she'll call in. We'll see. The lines are open there. That's listed. Dawn is too old to change. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When they did go through the house, and I know this isn't super important information, but someone did note that there was literally like Girls Gone Wild playing on the TV, which I'm not going to get flagged for anything on YouTube here. Like, if I pause it right here, you can see there's like girls, and then you can see them like, actually right there, you couldn't see it super clearly. But someone's like totally flashing the camera, and it's like super, super greasy that he just has that going on down there. Yeah, like right there. Boom. You can start to see someone in that position flashing. And it's like, what is he watching down there? Just running on the TV at all times. Crazy. I'm seeing so many comments coming. Oh, we have another call. Okay. The comments are great, though. Thank you to the comments.
Call from
Elaine.
Oh, we have Elaine. Here we go.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, is this Elaine?
Yes.
How's it going? How are you?
I've tried to. I'm peachy. I love you and love your
good.
show.
Thank you.
I saw something. It was a few days ago. An old Google Earth picture from, I think it was 2012 or 2013. Now, I can't find it because my Google Earth won't do it for me on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a huge extra part to that house that Jody Sue mentioned Don had torn down a year or so ago. Now, if there was a cellar under that and that poor baby dry drowned and they wanted to, they were afraid of her being examined and finding the sexual abuse, the SA, maybe there was an access point from the current basement to the old cellar that Don could easily just drywall over.
Yeah, I think I read a comment in the chat. Was that you?
Yes, I posted that on so many things in comments, and I don't usually call in. But anyway, God bless you, honey. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And I think I saw your comment in there earlier. I was going to mention that because I was like, wait, what is that about? So I had no idea about
it's been driving me crazy. It's like, am I the only one who saw that?
Interesting. So it was an image just of the house or from the Google image, like the satellite images?
It was from Google Earth, and it was an overhead view, and it was bigger than the current house that he tore down, and it looked like it had like steel roof.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. That's
anyhow, and I thought from the way it appears, watching the ground plan of the house, that it would be quite. If there had been a basement or even just an old cellar under that I think it would be behind the parents' or Don's bedroom.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can't find it to look at it again.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll have to look into that at some point. I'll go through on Google Earth now and go through the difference between Google Earth and Google Maps, but I'll definitely look into that outside the stream too.
Yeah, it's Google Earth.
Look through some older ones because you can.
Okay, bless your heart.
Too.
Keep up the good work, honey.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks
Bye-bye.
for calling, Elaine. Yep. See ya. That was Elaine. Thank you for the nice call, Elaine. She mentioned Google Earth images, some older images. And the house being a little bit bigger in previous images and possibly having some remodeling done on the house. So that's something that is worth looking into for sure. I'm going to go to 110 Ben Hill Road on Google on Google Earth here. I saw a couple comments. Also, someone was asking, what is dry drowning? I think it was, who was it? Cheryl. Cheryl asked what dry drowning was. Dry drowning and secondary drowning, medically known as submersion injuries, are often used. Basically, they're different conditions. They're different though, but it's when someone takes in a small amount of water through their nose or mouth and it causes a spasm that makes the airway close up. Dry drowning usually happens soon after exiting water. So it's when you take on water in the lungs and then you may not actually drown in that moment, but you are kind of choking later on and have issues. And then secondary drowning, I have right up here. You can read that. We're going to take this next call.
Call from
Holly.
Oh, here's Holly.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right. Hey, Holly, how's it going?
How are you there?
I'm doing well.
My
thanks.
voice is kind of in and out, so hopefully. Oh, and the puppies are here, of course.
That's okay. That's okay. So you've been in the comments. Let's hear, starting with, what was the last thing I read that was interesting? I guess start wherever you want with all of this. But I'm interested to know what your thoughts are.
Right. I'll follow up on what she was saying. So as far as the old Google terrain view map, okay?
Yeah.
So that property, I guess that's the one on the corner where Jody Sue lived. When they did the interview with her, you see a trencher out there behind her shoulder, okay? Mm-hmm. And there had also been, I don't know if this was relevant or not, but if somebody wants to know, there was a flash of light, like somebody was, maybe their phone flashed or a car door opened or something in the barn while she was giving the interview. I thought that was kind of odd. But wherever that horse got out from is probably where Summer went to. I don't think that Candace would have been smart enough to go out there and start hollering for her if anything had happened to her while she was there, or fell down the stairs or any of that nonsense. They looked first before they went outside and hollered. So, I wish everybody would just stop looking at that nonsense and look at the amount. 64%, I think, is one of the high places in the country as far as crime overall. And so when you look at that and you realize there's people out there that are on meth with meth labs, and they arrest 40 at a time in a bust, and, you know, one of them came from Italy. They had to, you know, extradite or whatever. So anyhow, all these things are the factors that we need to look at. Yes, I'm sure Don and Candace probably know more than what they're going to say, but they absolutely cannot say anything if those are who are threatening them. Also, everybody wants to love on the church, but we cannot just not look at people because they smile big and pretty and tell us nice things. And I get that, you know, kids should be taken from homes, but then we all know foster system isn't all that good either, because like the neighbors next to Jody they had 3 little kids in the front yard, and I think that was like one of those homeless shelter things. So that's the other way. Like when you look at the overview map of the house next door where the horse was, that's right to where the track, I think, of the dogs led to, and I think that's the general area where her dog goes every day. That's the big clue. That's the silent in the room that nobody's paying any attention to. The dog goes to the road. He goes to where she was, you know, kidnapped from.
Right.
So he doesn't go to the basement. He's not waiting for her to come out of the house. So facts are, I think that property, the bigger one that you were looking at, was Lawson's. And when the guy the other day went to go extradite Hunter with his, you know, vest on and that nonsense, I'm like, wait a minute. I heard his dad say something a while back about, in an interview, that, you know, he had gone somewhere safe. He didn't sound like he needed them back right that second. And you have to go through the courts for that. But I don't, you know, that was a little bit odd. But the other thing had been, Allie had been talking to a private investigator from North Carolina. He was the one that sped out of there, you know, in the Monte Carlo. The other thing was that Ethan's red truck that was wrecked, and then when you look at it, you can see where there's overspray underneath of it. It looks like the tailgate and the hood were changed out. I mean, on his hood, he left the yellow, well, you get it from a junkyard, you know, the yellow oil paint that they put on it to mark when you bought it, you know, and if you get a return date on it.
Yeah.
And I think that was 7/19 and 7/23 were the 2 dates on that. So that lets you know when he got it. And I did a map of where I think the junkyard is, and I think one of them was actually called Hunter. But anyways, but the SDA church in Pigeon Forge, which is where the occult likes to be, and it's more of a hub. You know, these are more outlying areas. There's hubs, there's the bigger, you know how the whole system works, and it's chicken head mafia, actually, I read in the FBI stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But on I-241, there's the Amish mafia too, you know. But what people need to understand is they don't live in this town. This town is a hot mess since the opioid epidemic. Everybody's there. I mean, when they arrest 40 people at a time for shutting down a meth house, you know, and the meth houses seem to be close to the SDA churches, because you can go online and look up, you know, all the major arrests and where those people's addresses were, and you plot that out on your map. You plot your SDAs. Your Masons are all big in these areas, and you'll see little groupings of them. No, I'm not saying all SDA members are bad. There's some people that are just going to church to hear the gospel, but there's others that have that extra motivation.
Okay.
Anyway, but Dotson and Robin got caught in a lie when they first said that Dotson wasn't there, was there. He shouldn't have been able to be there because the property was closed down the minute Candace called. So that right there are all your clues, basically. Follow the dog, follow the neighborhood, and realize. But the school district owns Jody Sue's property now, is what it says on the old Google Maps is different than the new Google Maps. And the old Google Map showed the red pickup truck with the white toolbox in that driveway. And then the street view showed it with an RV and a green, probably dark green, maybe dark blue F-150 King Cab. So all that you can see in the old version, but it does not show up in the new version. There's nothing in the driveway. But that trencher that was out there that day that Jody Sue was calling. So I think Summer went across the road and somebody, you know, was either watching her, which would be, you know, nobody wants to hear that, but it was in Robin and Dotson, or somebody opportunistically snatched her. And I don't think it, like I said, would have been the guy who just bought property next door.
Right. So
That
the
would have been
property. So remind me, the dogs. Are you referring to the where they went down to the road by the shed that's right on Beach Creek Road that is on their property, or?
That shed is a horse barn. Oh, yeah, and I'm glad you brought that back up. And I could tell from the roof. But when you go down a little bit, you can see where the horses are when you're driving in street view, right?
Okay.
So if I'd have been there, I'd have known that. But wherever that horse came from that got loose, that is where Summer was snatched from, period. I can guarantee you she went to go play with the horse next door. And she's not going to go, unless an animal snatched her, she's not going to go traipse through those woods. You're not going to do it. There's no way. You would have gone down the path that led right to that barn. And Hunter had said something about we stopped at the stables. So it really, I think, is just as basic as where does that dog go, or at least what direction, because that's the direction she got snatched. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm seeing maybe the barn now. I'm still learning about this case day by day, so I appreciate you calling. I appreciate the comments, and
you're
wow.
welcome.
So,
you know me.
Yeah, no, I'll like I said, I'll
I'm
be
just trying to get.
in the
I'm
comments.
just trying to actively too get everybody's focus on bring facts to the table. We all know the home life sucks, but so does foster care.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I get that for sure.
you know,
Yeah. Are
and
you?
then, you know, some people are in their best interest thinking they're taking the kid safe. That's Robin's MO. Oh, I'm taking her because she loves me. That's the other creepy thing. Oh yeah, in the church, you've got to listen to this. In the SDA church, what Ramsey is the whatever they call him there. Ramsey, you know Ramsey, right? From John Bonet, the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. The February 14th date, the Delphi girls came up missing on February 14th. Those are ritualistic occult dates, okay?
Okay.
And the one that's coming up now, which is why I'm such a hurry about Summer, because I'm not so sure she's dead yet. So, but I do believe that come California and Yosemite and the ley lines out there, and that's where the blood feast is, and full moon's on December, I think, 17th. So somebody needs to find her out there.
Yeah.
But I'll send you some more stuff because I got a lot more information that I don't want to talk about on here.
Okay.
But I'll send you some more stuff.
Oh,
So,
well, I
but
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, before you go, I'm curious on Hunter. What are your thoughts on Hunter? Because I know he left, right? Did he go back and live somewhere else temporarily?
And that's what his dad had said, and that was the same reason. Like, if you don't look at the noise and you just look at what's actually been kind of spoken, I don't care what their mood looks like. You know, you can fake cry or you cannot. But Hunter left for the same reason Dawn probably wanted those kids or said that out of the house, because something's up there. They know it's a hotbed right now, and that's, you know, because you know the town, you know the people talk. But you cannot go tell the chief of police who owns the property behind you, who they just found a little girl on while they were looking for Hunter. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's your relative. Your whole family's been to jail through this meth stuff. I mean, everybody's caught up in this town.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the easiest thing to do that I did where I started was, you know, knowing where all the locations of all those airports and the churches. Not all the churches are bad, y'all. I don't want anybody blasting me. I love the church. But you just can't not look at that because, you know, the wells are more obvious. So, but I think Hunter did the same thing. His dad had kind of said that when, which is why I was so surprised when the PI showed up to extract him with all this paperwork. And like, you can't be doing that. That has to go through court. That's kidnapping. What are you going to do if he doesn't want to go? Like, hold him at gunpoint, tie him up, drug him? What? Like, that's a long drive to New York. So, and that's not how that works. And actually what's crazy is the Lori Vallow's niece found that out when she tried to get her kids from Arizona. Her husband had them there, and that cop was so rude that he's like, you ain't taking the kids, you go to court, sorry. Get out of here, you're trespassing. So it just depends on the cops you bump into and who they are connected to, but you don't never know who's out for ulterior motives. And that's why if all the drama would stop and people would just seriously just sleuth the facts and not be worried about what the home life is after the fact, I mean, it's just a huge waste of time. You know, when like Don, like I heard Don in an interview where he was actually being candid. He's like, I'm frustrated because I know she got snatched, because I would know too if I lived in that town.
Right.
Just did not go outside and start hollering for no reason. So, anyway,
Okay.
but
Well,
that's-
thanks so much for the call.
You're welcome. But yeah, I
Appreciate
think Hunter's trying to hide because he's scared. So,
Okay.
all right, y'all.
All right. Thank you, Holly.
All right, puppies are acting up.
All
All right,
right.
bye.
See ya. That was a call from Holly, and I know before you guys say that was a 10-minute phone call. We weren't. It's not like we were getting flooded at that time when she called, so I let her go for a while. I know she's contributed a lot to the chat, and so we went down the rabbit holes. But she has a lot. I mean, whether you have just started learning about this case or you've been following it, I don't know half the stuff she talked about there, so I'm gonna have to re-listen to the stream and maybe go down some of those rabbit holes myself. At least when it comes to some of the interviews and stuff she was talking about with Jody and the Flash, like weird things like that are just interesting. So if you were trying to call during all of that, I apologize. That was a longer call. The lines are still open, 305-985-2690. Feel free to call. We aren't going to be streaming probably a whole lot longer, but to the 278 people that are here, I really appreciate it. Let's hit that like button real quick. Let's try to drive the algorithm up while we still have a considerable amount of people here. And then we, in a little bit, like I said, at the end of the stream, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. We're giving away one of these mugs. We're doing a little Christmas mug giveaway. So to the people that are here, stick around. It's going to be interesting the way we do it. It's going to be kind of on a whim. It's going to work though. We're going to make it work. Someone will be getting a mug, and I will send it out to whatever address you would like. These are the Mulling Over Maps mugs. Someone wanted me to make these after I hit 10,000 subscribers, and so I did. It was after a request from someone. So anyways, hit that like button. I'm not going to say that that's a prerequisite for winning a mug, but I'll be upset if you didn't like the stream. I won't have any other way to tell, so it's definitely not required to win a mug. But anyways, so let's see. We were talking about what we were talking about. Dry drowning before this. So many things, man. Real quick, one thing I want to do, I'm going to go back to full screen while I get my tabs in order. I think it was Elaine who was asking about the Google Map image. The current Google Earth and Google Map images, if I cycle between them, look essentially the same. So that's going to be Google Maps, and this is Google Earth. So the house, if we look at the house, doesn't look like there's any addition to the house by any means. I'll have to look into some older Google Earth images. So yeah, we'll look into that. But because we were talking about the house potentially being remodeled at some point, and they could definitely hide her. But Ginger Alice says, just give us all a mug. If I gave you all a mug at 286 people, that would be a lot of money. I wouldn't be able to go home for Christmas. I've already bought my tickets. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, so real quick, I'm going to go back to full screen. The lines are still open. Feel free to call if you'd like. We're going to, like I said, wrap somewhat soon. We're going to be giving away a mug here soon. I'm going to read some more comments as they're coming in because I do like seeing the comments and I like to address as many of them as I can. Yeah, I have to go back and change the date. So how do I do that on... I need to look into some stuff. My thing was acting weird. But I'll have to do that in a moment. I'm going to line something else up here shortly. Actually, I can just pull it up on the stream. But yeah, Raindrops, thank you. Buy a mug from Aaron. Monies go to supporting his new project. Yes, the mug link, if you do just want to buy one of these, the links are down in the description. I'm making a documentary in the early part of 2021, and it'll be a really big project, and I'm going to have to fly all over the country and interview people for it. So I'm self-funding it. I'm just using my own money for it. So I'm just kind of utilizing any sort of YouTube money to kind of help fund that, since this is just kind of my side project for fun. We have another call.
Call from
Joyce.
We have Joyce in the chat.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, this is Joyce. Is this Joyce?
Hi, are you there?
I am, yes. How are you?
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, I just called to give my brain a break and say hello and tell you what an awesome job you do.
Oh, thank you. Give your brain a break. It's a lot, isn't it? There's a lot going on.
It makes me dizzy. I don't see how you do what you do with everything coming in so fast and all the research that you do, because it just makes my head spin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and especially this case, since there's so many theories, and I mean, I feel like I've done a lack of research. When I have other people commenting things that I've never even heard about, it's like, man, it's just not easy, these types of cases, keeping up with everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. My head's spinning. So,
but it just seems like you'll start in a direction, you'll follow a direction, and then there's a curve in the road or there's a split in the road, and you'll go down a different direction. And it's a lot. I just pray for that child.
Yeah, I'm hoping for something soon. It feels like this case is just like something's going to happen. It just feels like it, and I just hope that it's good news whenever there is new information.
I agree. Any type of closure is better than not knowing and having no answers at all.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And also want to tell you that I got an update, and my mug should be here Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to have coffee time together when my mug comes.
Very nice. Awesome. People in the chat are saying they love your accent as well. A little southern drawl? Is that
do I come across country?
A little bit. People enjoy
Tennessee.
it. Oh, nice. Okay, so this hits somewhat close to home for you then. I mean, Tennessee's relatively large.
Several hours east of me. I'm closer towards Nashville. I'm more Middle Tennessee.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
And continue to pray for everybody in Kentucky and Illinois and all the places that were so destruction by that tornado.
Yes.
But I'm not going to tiger line and let you get back to everybody else in the chat. I just wanted a little pleasant conversation and to say hello and thank you so much for all the time that you give to us.
Well, thank you, Joyce, and thank you for the support. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Well, you are so very welcome. I enjoy hanging out with you and everybody in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, have a good evening.
You too. Good night.
Night. Well, that was just a super nice call from Joyce. Joyce, thank you for calling. Thank you for letting me know about the mug that's on the way. Couldn't have timed that any better. And you know what, Joyce? You might just win another mug tonight if you are still in the chat when we give away one soon. Joyce is so sweet. Says, Cheryl, I'm in Rogersville, and I'd like for this to be solved. Wow, so Just the Fool, that's hitting really close because, that's just up the road from you. But anyways, let's see. Someone asked about the documentary. Oh, someone said excited for your documentary. Yeah, I wish I could say more about the documentary. It's a true crime style documentary. I can't say much about it as of right now. But yes, it's happening in, did I say 2021? I may have said 2021 earlier because someone commented 2022 ? I meant to say 2021 or 2022. My gosh, it's weird saying 2022. It's like, what year is it? It feels like 2020 still. Like, anyways, 2022. I'll be starting to work on it. So right after the new year, I'm going to be hitting it hard on the documentary. Hopefully, I'll still be doing a lot on this YouTube channel. I don't know where this is all going to go. I'm going to try to remain somewhat consistent to, posting a couple times a week and maybe going live at least once or twice a week, like I said. But when that project does roll around, I'm going to be pretty busy with that. But anyways, thanks again to Joyce for calling. I'm going to pull up one thing here. Let's see. It's from an older stream, a Summer Wells stream. And it has to do with this. So I'm going to play this briefly. Brain fog. Yeah, total brain fog. This is from a segment, and if you've been here before in some of the older Summer Wells streams, you will know, you will have already seen this, but I'm going to play a segment from one of my older streams. I'm going to quickly take a brain break during that, and when I get back, we'll talk about that, what I'm about to show you, and then we'll give away one of the mugs. So this is from a stream on November 30th, and I'm going to let past Aaron take it away. So I'm going to actually close out the calls for now. Thanks to the people who called. Those should not pop up now. If someone absolutely was just trying to call and I just cut you off, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll open it up at the very, very end. But we're going to be wrapping somewhat soon. Darla, we love Aaron. So calm, cool, and in control. Thank you, Darla. I'm going to play this video here, and I will be right back. So I'm going to turn this video off and then put up me from November 30th with my head cold that I had. All right, be right back. But this is apparently... Oh, so Beach Creek is the street. Okay, Beach Creek Road. I was thinking that would actually be a creek. But yeah, this is their property, which we know when in a couple of the past live streams, the property, you have to go up Ben Hill Road that then turns into a gated road up to their property, and it's up on a pretty big hill. So I imagine they're just searching the Beach Creek area, but they said that they're looking in some areas that were previously high foliage, so they must be searching off the road to an extent. But then again, if you look here, there's like another area called Beach Creek down here, so this whole area just must be the Beach Creek area. But we'll get more into that in a second. Let's see. Yes, everyone, I will definitely reach out to her about the CCs, because I'm sure she would turn on closed captioning if she knew how. It definitely wouldn't be something she would be doing on purpose. It just must be something that she has yet to discover within the YouTube features. So I will definitely, I'll definitely reach out to her. I also saw, and I'm going a little off topic here, but a few people have gotten their mugs. Okay, so chiming in. So I don't know if this is the right thing. I had to quickly step out. I'm back though, so I'm going to put myself over this and just kind of scrub through the footage. Hello. What did I just show? Was it the... Okay, so yeah, we're getting to it now. But the drive home. You had a head cold. I've got a whopping chest infection. Yeah, I had a serious like sinus type cold over Thanksgiving. Thankfully feeling much better now. But this is the videos that they thought, or I guess Candace's mom thought she was taking a photo in the backseat. This is it slowed down, okay? And if you can see out the car, you can see the trees going by, and then you can see the two poles. So let's see. You'll see it in just a moment. Also, Chloe's mom, closed caption really helps because my husband always talks to me while I am watching. Well, that's good to know. Cheryl, also, I did not have COVID. I had to get tested for COVID for a work thing. I got tested twice, and I didn't have COVID. So, anyways, thankfully. Anyways, this is the two poles that I was referring to. That is just beyond Candace here. Are right here. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and we're going to find these on the map. Okay. Actually, I'll just keep scrubbing through this because I did it earlier. Or I did it once before. So I'm just going to keep playing this. We'll chat through it. Also, Holly, thanks everyone for being understanding for the long phone call. Hopefully it puts some information out there and we can help figure it out so she can be found as soon as possible. Thank you, Holly. So here are the 2 poles. And then on Lone Star Road, a few miles away from the household, from 110 Ben Hill Road, is actually where they took that video. Summer's grandma mentioned that they were an hour and a half. It took them an hour and a half after this video was taken to get home. Now, this part of the road where we're at is only like 5 miles away from the house. So it doesn't line up. Let's see. Ooh, sorry. Anyways, it doesn't line up. So let me show you guys where it lines up. You can see the sign. Sorry, brain fog. We're getting back to it. If you go back, you can see the arrow sign. Did you guys see that right there on the screen? That is the arrow on the side of the road, and that is the same arrow sign right here. I'm 100%, like, I shouldn't say 100%. I'm like 90% sure that this is where they're at. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Cammie. We're at 310 people. Everyone hit that like button. We're getting out there to new people in the algorithm. It's great. Also hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this content. A lot of people watch content. They don't really subscribe, and subscribing really helps as well. So thank you to the people that are here. But let me continue playing this for just a moment now that I'm into it. That they were 5 minutes from home, so this is where I'm talking about the 5 minutes from home thing. Here, go back to here. This area is actually near the Walker Fork Church. And if we just go 110 Ben Hill Road and then we type that in, it's roughly 4.8 miles, or it's showing about 8 minutes on here. So that would actually check out. Man, are people losing the stream? Man, I'm going to pause for a moment. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to here we go. To reset, even if it was that are just joining. We have 227. It's like, okay, so I'm going to cut away from this for a moment. But all that said, I just wanted to show that again, to talk about the timelines. Candace said that they were on their way home, or during this portion of the video, they were on their way home. Candace's mom said that they were an hour and a half away from home. They were only about 5 miles away from home at this point. I'm going to continue this. I'll jump back on. Get some sleep. All right, here we go, guys. So, sorry, I just have to pull this up again just to show the people that are late to the party. This is the sign. Here's the sign here, the arrow. So they would have been driving west back home. And then if we scrub forward in the video, I'll just let it play out. We will get to see the 2 trees that show up right. There. So there's the 2, or not trees, poles rather. There are the 2 poles. So if we go back to this video, if she would have been driving down this road here, there's the 2 poles. And if we click one more further, we're just a bit too far past it to be able to tell super well. But that, I believe, is actually what we're looking at with pretty high degree of certainty that that's the 2 poles that are in the video there. And you can almost see the little shed in the background. It's hard to make out that little shed right there, but you can almost tell that there's something in the background even. So I would say that that's pretty likely to be where they were at. So let's jump into this video. This is a video from Michelle. So I don't know if you guys find that interesting at all. That was from a previous stream, like I was mentioning, from November 30th. So if you're new to the channel and you're starting to find any of the stuff that I do interesting at all, go check out that old stream. Give it a view, give it a like. I basically was just going into the fact that, Candace's grandma had mentioned that it was an hour and a half from that point that it took them to get home. And that just does not line up at all. And they could have just gotten that wrong, because some people were saying it may have been an hour and a half from the time they were swimming, which would have made more sense. 165 Ben Hill is the actual house. 110 Ben Hill Road. Isn't it 110 Ben Hill Road? What's 165 Ben Hill Road? Let me look. 165 Ben Hill Road. Oh, okay. Thank you. 165 Ben Hill Road. Basically the same. It puts us right on the same spot. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, to the 328 people that are here, I know we're bouncing around. I promised to give away a mug, and we're going to do it once we hit 300 likes. We have 20 more likes to go. And then of the 334 people that are here, we're going to give one of these Mulling Over Maps mugs away. If you're new to the channel, I made these when I crossed 10,000 subscribers. The funds from selling these mugs, link in the description, go to my self-produced documentary that I'm making in early 2022. So thank you to the people who have purchased mugs. By no means feel the need to support the channel in that way. Angela, what's up? Where have you been? How's it going? Maybe I just didn't see you in the chat. But if you're here just now, Angela, you're here at the right time, because we're giving away a mug. We're giving away a freaking mug. Okay, so I'm going to wait until we hit 300 likes, and then we will do this. So let me do this right here. So this is going to be interesting, the way we do this. And I'm going to have to use my eyes very clearly. I'm going to have to be the one to... And Alicia, I think, maybe still is in here. If Alicia, my mod Alicia is posting still, so I'm not sure how long she'll be here. But she can, of course, help with this as well, because it's going to take some eyes on the chat. But basically, what we're going to do is this, okay? So there's 331 people in here. Obviously, of those 331, not everyone is commenting right now. What's going to have to happen is, and what may end up happening, and I have to say this, we may not fully identify the winner of this during the stream. It may be kind of hard because there's going to be a lot of comments that come through, okay? My screen says 301. It's going to be the most up-to-date on my screen. It's always delayed for you guys. I'm seeing 334 people in here, 309 likes, and I appreciate that. What we're going to do is, out of the 300, and it's fluctuating, but 336 people, I want you guys to comment. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm just going to bump it up to 340 and comment a number between 0 and 340. But before you do it, know that if I see that you've commented twice, it's going to be ruled out. So only one comment, leave one number between 0 and 340, okay? And then I'm going to go back through the chat either during the stream or after the stream, and we're going to pick the person. We're going to do it live right here, a random number generator. We're going to pick right here, and we're going to see who was closest, okay? So we already have Jane coming in, 33, 204, 234, 315. Okay, 7. Ooh, Michael Flores says 7. That is my number, man. That is my number. Oh my goodness, a lot of comments coming through. Definitely hit the like button as well, if you because not that I can tell if you haven't or not. Oh my gosh, I may have gotten myself into something. If there's people that have the same, I see 230 and 239, that's close. if there are people that commented more than, or I guess don't comment more than once, like I said, but if they comment the same one, I'm going to have to give 2 away. So I'm going to give it a couple of seconds here. It's the people that are here that heard the rules that are going to be locked in, okay? So for the people, it's slowed down a little bit. Comment once, but comment any number between 0 and 340, okay? Tony, you got back just in time. Quickly comment a number between 0 and 340. We're giving away a Mulling Over Maps mug, but only comment one number. This could be an absolute mess. We'll see. So I'm about to do it live. So the number is going to be chosen live in front of everyone on the screen. So I'm not going to do it right now. It's showing 2. I just did a test on here, but when I hit generate, it's going to auto-generate a random number, okay? So I have not pre-selected anything. And in fact, what we could do just to show you guys, I could hit generate, but then again, if it hits on your number and it's not the one we choose, you're going to be upset. So I'm not doing that. I'm going to just hit generate once it's time, and everyone that comments before that, we're going to go through the comments. So good. Everyone's got their numbers in. I still see some coming through. And like I said, I'm going to go back through the live chat. So please don't comment twice. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to end it in a moment. So everyone have their numbers in. I got to wait for no numbers to come through. So we're ending it now. So if you haven't done it, lock your number in, but this is it. Claire says 10, 100,000. Do we win beer? Someone took your number. That's okay. AZ native. If someone took your number, you guys can both win if you both got it. So just whatever number. The tension is absolutely mounting at this point, Wee Lassie. Or I guess Shell. Who said that? Wee Lassie. So 777 doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to do it. It's happening right now. I'm going to comment in the chat the number, and then if I see any comments after mine, I'll know that they're not, those aren't valid. So you can't just comment the number after and say that that's what you commented. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking at the chat. There's no more. Drum roll, please. We're auto-generating the number between 0 and 340. 3, 2, 1. 277 is the number. 277 is the number. I've commented it. So any comments coming in after my comment, they're not it. They're not it, okay? So we're going to find, and I think Alicia's still in here. We're going to find the number 277. I already see Amanda. Amanda C. 277. Let's see if anyone else commented 277 because it'll be a second person. 221, 218 for Loving Fog. Prayers and Ponytails commented 77. Just forgot the 2 in front of it. Heather commented 280. That would have been close. It might just be one person that said, so I'm going to look through the comments. Did anyone... Let's see. Did anyone else comment 277? Let's see. Also, if Amanda C is in here still, please comment. I want to see if you saw that you won. I'm going to reach out to you in some way or another to figure out the information. I don't know if it was just Amanda. I think Alicia's saying she's only seeing Amanda as well. 66. Ginger Owl 17. I see what you did there. You were 17. 289. That's close. Rose 242. I'm only seeing the 277 as well. She was first for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And her comment for sure came in before I spun the wheel or did the auto generate. So she Got it. Okay, so here we go. 257 from Angela. That was close, Angela. I will say this, though. Maybe not the next stream, but in the coming streams leading up to Christmas, we're going to be giving away 2 more of these mugs. We're doing 3 mug giveaways between now and Christmas. So I think it'll be in the next couple weeks leading up to Christmas. So next week, oh my gosh, it's the 12th. So we're going to give away another mug sometime this week and then one more right before Christmas. So there's going to be 2 more mug giveaways. So definitely drop by the streams. It looks like Amanda's the only 277 that I'm seeing as well. And honestly, I think, Pam was 278. Oh my goodness. I think people would have commented that they were 277 as well. Why do I swallow so loud? I think it's just because I'm close to the mic. Like, look, let me swallow away from it. Did you hear it? It's this mic. It picks up so much. Ad Rock C. I'm so sorry. Also maybe I just swallow water loud. But yes, thank you. Thank you for participating. That just boosted the comments way up in the algorithm. And congratulations to Amanda. So let me see. Did Amanda C comment? Thanks, Aaron. If you don't want to ship to Australia, I'm happy for you to gift it to someone else. No, I would ship it. It just might take a while. So we'll get your information squared away. If anything, I'll ship it sometime after Christmas just so it doesn't get caught up in a bunch of stuff. But I'll get your information. My email, I'm going to list. How do we do this? I should have thought this through more. Don't be sorry. Do it louder. Raindrop says, I don't hear you swallowing. We'll figure it out. So I'm trying to think. I could just give you my email as well. I don't know, Amanda, if you have my email, but we could communicate that way. I'm going to list my email on the screen. Amanda, feel free to reach out to me. We'll get it squared away. Of course, this email is going to be on the screen for everybody to see at this point, but that's okay. I get emails daily. There's my email. Nope, never mind. That's not my email. Come on. There's my email right there. For Amanda. And obviously this is up on the screen. Other people are going to see this. But to Amanda, there it is. There's my email. Reach out to me. I will do this hopefully in a better way in the future. When I do giveaways, I'll have a better system. But I wanted to start it off today. Is someone being mean? Is Angie being mean? What's Angie saying? Oh, seriously. Why? Yeah, never mind. Angie's not being mean. Anyways, okay, so that's the email. It's up on the screen. It's been up long enough. Nope, whoops. And there we go. Now I'll get them hourly. That's what I was thinking. All right. LOL, why must you breathe, right? Someone's going to be like, you breathe too loud. You should maybe try to breathe maybe once every 3 minutes. Could you maybe try to do that instead? Yes. Is that blood pumping through your veins that we hear? You guys are hilarious. Glad people from other countries have heard about. Yeah. Thanks for caring. Listen, we can hear your hair growing. His hair growing. You should probably hear my little gray hairs growing. I'm getting so many more gray hairs. Okay, we've kind of gone through the stream at this point, guys. And thanks to Alicia for taking time away from her family. She's spending time with family. To Maud, thank you, Alicia. Thank you. So give some love to Alicia in the chat. And to everyone who called today, who there was a couple super chats, a couple super super stickers. I'm going to quickly check a couple of things as we're rolling out, but thank you to everyone who has been here. We are we've crossed the 2-hour mark at this point. It's not like there was a ton to go through, but if I just want to reiterate, everything that we talk, or not go through everything, but my big thing with the title is just someone has to know more. Someone has to have answers in this case. And I hope for everyone that's involved that someone comes forward. If the boys that were taken away know anything that can help with the timeline, I hope they speak up. If Candace hasn't been saying something, I hope she speaks up. If there's anyone who saw something in that area or knows anything, I hope they speak up. I just think that this case is about to bust wide open. I don't know what it is. It's just something I've been thinking about lately. It's just, there's too much. I just feel like that this could have just been a really crappy situation. And she was taken by someone they had no idea who it was. And it's a really terrible human trafficking situation. I just think this is something else. I think if I had to really guess, I think that Summer had an accident, maybe swimming or somewhere around the house, and possibly they aren't saying everything that happened. So I'll maybe make a video of my exact thoughts on everything, but I just wanted to hop on here and go through and talk about the details of the case a little bit more, go through some of these different maps with the land nearby. That's all very interesting information, and so on and so forth. So without rambling too long, I'm going to say bye to some of you in the chat, and we'll wrap things up. So thanks for being here. Kay, thank you. Good night, peeps. Be safe. Thank you. Holly, there's been also lots of condemned houses in that hotel. Oh, interesting. Holly, definitely email me. Summer has a birthday coming up. So sad. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to probably stream midweek this week, depending on what's going on. I've got videos coming out. I got a video coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday night. If it's Sunday where you're at, it's Monday for some people, depending on where you're at. Soma, you're way late. That's okay. We just kind of had a chill stream going through some of the Summer Wells case tonight. For the people who have joined late, feel free to check out the stream after it posts. I was born a rambling man. Coffee. I'm done rambling. I'm going to go. Thank you, everyone. Done rambling. I could ramble on forever. These comments come through. It's fun to read, but I'm going to go. See you guys in the next one.